What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. If you are interested and like my comic thoughts, then please do come to my Amazon page and pick up my comic books. I am a #1 best-selling author and comic creator, and, I appreciate everybody who supports the books and supports the channel. All right, I've been interested in Top Cow stuff lately ever since reading a Witchblade book, which is out right now, and I remembered the Magdalena from that universe when I was a kid, and I remembered really liking it for some reason. There definitely were some appeals as a kid. And they've got cover galleries in the back where, it's just this sexy Catholic girl. And I grew up Catholic, so, a sexy Catholic girl appealed to me. So works out pretty well. But this covers, I guess, her origin in Darkness 15 through 18, which I never read before. I just saw her own title, and I saw, just saw her on the cover, and it was like, oh, that's something I might want to pick up. And then it collects her first miniseries of 3 issues. So Magdalena is this girl who inherits the spear that pierced her side. And there's many of them over the history, and it gets passed down from generation to generation. She's the lore is that she's related to Mary Magdalene, who got blessed by Christ all the way through, and she has to deal with that. So she's sent out to hunt down by a cardinal to hunt down the darkness. And I have not actually read any Darkness before, but the Darkness is like a demon-infested kind of guy, I guess. I mean, he was in Witchblade for a little bit, and he's got the demons are all kind of comedic, is what it comes down to. Lots of cheesecake action in over the course of this, but it's kind of a slow setup as the cardinal summons this guy to help the church and all that. And I really love the art through here. I think it's really clean, really nice. Pleasant to look at, and and eventually the Magdalena comes after the Darkness here. Oh boy, this is peak 90s right here. There's a side plot with this hooker, and she really doesn't have much to do with the storyline. I don't know if she comes back in the Darkness or something like that, but it is what it is. The pencils are by Joe Benitez, and I guess the storyline's by Maliki Coney. I don't know who that is, but enjoyable stuff nonetheless. And it ends up with a knockdown, drag-out fight with this girl, and the Darkness is like, I don't. He makes a lot of jokes about the ladies and all that, but it's pretty funny and pretty entertaining. It's not all that deep of a thing. Eventually, they get summoned into the Vatican, and the priest who was going to work for the cardinal. It ends up it's a trap, and it was a tribunal because this was not an authorized hit on the Darkness that was supposed to come out. And I guess this girl finds this. I guess the plot line is the hooker girl finds the spear of the Christ thing here. Oh boy, look at the cheesecake here. This is a very bad drawing. I don't know what they were thinking on that. Oh my gosh. But the Magdalena is brought in with her girls, and of course they bathe her to, this is a cleanser. That's what's going on here. She's getting cleansed. Oh my gosh, 90s. It's still a heck of a lot of fun, and that was that. And eventually the Darkness strings them up like they're crucified. Now, is she killed? I don't really know, because then there's a character here. It's not really clear who she is here, or if it's the same character in her own miniseries. I think it is. But once she gets to her miniseries, these vampires are attacking this priest and all that, and she shows up to deal with that by herself. And beautiful art here. This is what I was reading when I was much younger, and I was very interested in for good reason. I see that as good reason. So she finds these vampires, and she's hunting them down and going to kill them and all that. And there's some extra story behind it. Now, unfortunately, as reading this now, this does get into edgy, subversive 90s crap. And whereas I really liked the storyline where, Christ blessed Mary Magdalene from the darkness, They now like retconned her origin, and they're saying that there's this thing with the Catholic Church where Jesus was not actually the Son of God, and this was like some plot that like the men used to gain power later. And Jesus like actually had a child with Mary Magdalene, and that is where her powers come from, and he was some sort of sorcerer or something like that. And I'm like, gosh dang it, why do you have to do that? So it gets into blasphemy in this, and I don't love that. When I was a kid, I obviously was not paying any attention to that sort of subtext, but that was there. So the church is really bad. They're hunting the vampires down. The vampires are just... This is really ridiculous. Look at this vampire lady. Oh my gosh, the 90s drawings and designs. I mean, obviously, like in here, the vampires are pretty bad, but it turns out they are willing people who are donating their blood to these people in these depraved acts. It's too bad Magdalena didn't just slaughter them all. I don't know. I would have done this very differently. But yeah, it ends up the church is bad, and they're hunting down these people who are just... It's basically vampire AIDS is what it comes down to. So they become vampires like when the blood, touches the infected blood, just like AIDS. So it's like AIDS is not AIDS is something we should care about, like sort of storyline, and the church is actually bad, and that's really a bummer to read at the end of this. So the art's really nice. Joe Benitez does a great job. I don't here they explain the origin and the blasphemy and say it's could possibly unravel the Catholic Church, and that's that. So that's unfortunate on the story end. I think that kind of edginess just really doesn't hold up over time, and I don't know. Maybe her origin is retconnable again, so they could fix it, because the original darkness way that it was presented was much more palatable, I would say. The art's fantastic though, so still and the plot flows pretty well over the course of things, despite the cringy aspect of it. So I got to give it a 6.5 out of 10 overall, and that's that. All right. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.